The City of Boston Zoning Board of Appeal hearing for March 10, 2026 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law, including the updated provisions enacted by the legislature this year. The new law allows the board to continue its practice of holding virtual hearings through June 2027. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the Zoom webinar event platform and is also being live streamed. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting to this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. Board members, applicants, and their attorneys or representatives will participate in the hearing as panelists, and they will appear alongside the presentation materials when speaking. Panelists are strongly encouraged to keep video on while presenting to the board. As with our in-person meetings, comments and support will be followed by comments and opposition. The order of comments is as follows: elected officials, representatives of elected officials, and members of the public. The chair may limit the number of people called upon to offer comment and the time for commenting as time constraints require. For that reason, the board prefers to hear from members of the public who are most impacted by a project, that is, those individuals who live closest to the project. If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise hand button along the bottom of your screen in the Zoom webinar platform. Click it again and your hand should go down. When the host sees your hand, you will receive a request to unmute yourself. Select yes, and you should be able to talk. If you are connected to the hearing by telephone, please press *9 to raise and lower your hand. You must press *6 to unmute yourself after you receive the request from the host. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first, and then can provide their comment. In the interest of time and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Stenbridge reads the address into the record. Do not raise your hand before the relevant address is called, or the meeting host will not know to call on you at the appropriate time. We ask that you keep your comments brief, and all public testimony will be limited to 90 seconds per speaker. Mr. Stenbridge.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Mr. Valencia.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Mr. Langham.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Ms. Wewell.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Ms. Turner.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present. And I apologize in advance for my video. I thought I got it straightened out, but it's not functioning, so I will be off camera.
No worries. Technology. Love it or hate it. Mr. Burnell.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Floor is yours, Mr. Stenbridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll begin today with the approval of hearing minutes scheduled for 9:30. These are from the hearings of February 12th and February 24th of this year. I will make a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge.
Yes.
Mr. Valencia.
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Ms. Wewell.
Yes.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Burnell.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next, we have the extensions scheduled for 9:30 a.m. I will read all of the extensions appear reasonable, so I will read them in one after the other, and we'll take a vote on them after. Have any questions from Madam Chair, and then take a vote on them afterwards. We begin with case BOA 113-3499 with the address of 117 Coleridge Street. Next, we have case BOA 1333-102 with the address of 4-6 Woodville Park. Next, we have case BOA 107-4303 with the address of 99-105 Fairmont Avenue. Next, we have case BOA 150-78 93 with the address of 1809 to 1813 Dorchester Avenue. And final extension for today is case BOA 1527713 with the address of 112 to 114 Chelsea Street. Those are the extensions for today.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? May I have a motion to grant the extensions as requested?
I make a motion to grant the extensions as requested.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Bluewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Brunel?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next, we have a groundwater conservation overlay district case scheduled for 9:30 a.m. This is case BOA 1813655 with the address of 4 Haynes Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Dominic Coppola. I'm an attorney at Drago and Toscano LLP representing this property. We're asking for a deferral for this property to March 24th, the next ZBA hearing date. We've already been approved to be heard on that date.
Okay, can you just clarify why?
Yes, so we have a board final arbiter going on the 24th and new violations being heard, so we just asked for them to all be heard on the same date.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to defer this case until March 24th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Brunel?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. See you then.
Thank you.
Next, we have a building code case scheduled for 9:30 a.m. This is case BOA 1813622 with the address of 86 Pembroke Street. If the applicant and/or their representative present, will they please explain to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Mark Lacasse, Lacasse Law, 177 Huntington Avenue in Boston. I represent the owner of this property, Jameson Brown, and also on the hearing is Mark Van Brocklin, our architect of record from Embark. The single-family home renovation has already commenced and has been underway pursuant to a long-form permit that was issued, and this is an amendment to that permit regarding access to the roof deck, which has already been approved by the Southland Landmarks Commission. The sole issue before you today is, as shown right here on this screen, access to the roof deck is proposed to be via a hatch. In this case, presents the familiar anomaly between the building code on the one hand and the zoning code and Southland Landmarks Commission standards and guidelines on the other hand. The building code requires access to roof decks be through a penthouse, also known as a head house, and Article 64-34 of the Southland Zoning Code and the Southland Landmark Standards and Guidelines require that access to roof decks be via a hatch. So we seek a variance from the provisions of the building code in order that we may install a hatch consistent with the zoning code and the Southland Landmarks Commission guidelines. And that's it. Thank you so much.
All right. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I make a
Before the
motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Brunel?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you kindly.
Next, we'll go to the hearing scheduled for 9:30 a.m. At this time, we'll ask if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 9:30 a.m. hearing.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Eileen Rose on behalf of the owner for 168 Dana Ave. We're looking to request a deferral for the next availability as an updated refusal letter has been issued and needs to be re-advertised.
Thank you. Mr. Stanbridge has to read it into the record.
So this would be for case BOA 1710494 with the address of 168 Dana Avenue.
Okay.
And this one we can put on for April 16th.
Okay, since the applicant already gave us their reason, is there a motion?
Motion to defer to April 16th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stanbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Brunel?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. See you then.
Thank you.
There are no other requests for withdrawals or
I
deferrals.
see another raised hand. Can you identify yourself?
Yes, Attorney Jared Item and Nutter, McLennan and Fish. I have an item on the first hearing for the 11 o'clock calendar.
So you have to wait if you're...
Okay, very good. Thank you.
So with that, we'll go to the first case scheduled for 9:30, which is case BOA 1785172 with the address of 254 Bremen Street. The applicant and or their representative present, will they please explain to the board?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, Jeff Hampton, City of Boston Planning Department. The petitioner, Jeff Thomas, is having internet troubles right now, so he is not able to get on. So if it would be an ask.
Does he want us to? Okay, yep, we can keep going and come back to him.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, we'll go to case BOA 1809938 with the address of 60 Byron Street. If the applicant and or the representative present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stanbridge. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, Richard Lynn's business address of 245 Summer Street in East Boston on behalf of the petitioner. This is involving the property at 6062 Byron Street, East Boston. If we could jump down to perhaps slide, these slides are good to start. Yeah, it's perfect. So, Madam Chair, this is a pre-existing 2-unit dwelling on the property. Our proposal is to demolish the existing structure and to replace it with 6 new residential units with 6 parking spaces. If we go down to the next slide, probably gives a better view here. Yeah, so there's existing curb cut on the right side of the property. You can see the area that's to the right of the structure is all part of this parcel. We do have access rights to the left of our building for an existing driveway, and that would be used to address the parking access to the back of the property. This curb cut would be closed up in connection with the redevelopment of the site. Next slide, please. So we are located in the EDR3 district, and that, of course, triggered 2 violations from the Inspection Service Department. For all intents and purposes, this project meets all requirements under Planning East Boston's amended zoning for East Boston, Article 53. The only items that we were cited for involve the use of the property as 6 units because of the lot width. Our position is that the use as 6 units is actually allowed. It's the lot width that requires 55 feet. That was a requirement that was included with the amended zoning for Article 53. As the board can see, we do have a lot that is 5,000 square feet, 50 feet wide by 100. Since the amended zoning for East Boston no longer requires minimum lot size or lot width, for as-of-right development. The site could easily accommodate a total of 6 units, 3 on each lot, and we would not be required to do off-street parking. The proposal that we vetted with the neighborhood association was that certainly they encouraged us to consider parking on the site, and in doing so, we opted for a single building of 6 units, which does require parking as opposed to 2 separate 3-unit buildings. Next slide, please. So you can see here from our site plan, our building does meet the setback requirements for front, side, and rear. That would be consistent with the regulations for EBR3 for this neighborhood. So again, if we were to propose 2 standalone 3-unit dwellings, the bulk of the building and the densities of these buildings would be exactly the same. The only difference would be we'd have 2 entranceways and not be required to do parking. And once again, I believe that the neighborhood who supported this project was okay with 6 units based upon the fact that we would incorporate parking. Next slide, please. Jump down to the rendering, probably next slide. Yeah, so this just shows in context, we are within the height limit, so our building is 3 stories, 35 feet. We do incorporate roof decks for the upper levels. The building immediately to our left that we can see in this photo is actually a 4-story building. Again, we kept our building in line with what the requirements for Article 53 permit. Next slide, please. Just a layout of the floors. Don't really have to get too detailed on this. Next slide, please. Just showing the roof. We do provide those 2 private roof decks. I will point out that the refusal letter did cite us for roof structure restrictions. As we've said in the past, roof structure restrictions apply to existing buildings, not proposed new structures. So in this particular case, provided that we're within the height limit, we are permitted to have roof decks as a matter of right under the amended zoning for East Boston. Next slide, please. Just showing the elevations, and again, that we are within the height limits, 3 stories and within 35 feet. And again, this being exactly what would be built if these were 2 separate buildings. We just consolidate by having a single common stairwell as well as one main entranceway. Next slide, please. Just our elevations to the side. We do set back the lowest level. That's to allow for appropriate maneuvering for the parking area. And as I said, we do have access rights to get to the parking in the rear of the property through a shared easement to the left of our building. Next slide, please. Just a rear elevation showing that lower deck at the first level. Next slide. And then just the right side elevation. I will pause there and address any comments or questions by the board.
Thank you. Quick question, the slide that you showed with the property next to it, is your proposed project same height, lower, or taller than that one?
Lower. The building, if we would jump back to slide, I think it's slide 2 or 3, we do have, I think, a 3D view of the area. Yeah, you can see the building to our left at 58. Madam Chair, is a 4-story. There are other 4 stories along that side, along both sides of the street. We're actually below that. We'd be at 3 stories in line with the height at 64 to our right.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Madam Chair, I have a question. So it seems like the number of units is conditional on the lot width or frontage. So can I ask why you didn't consider a 3-unit building?
Through the chair, we did. We considered two 3-unit buildings. We could subdivide the lot into 2 2,500 square foot lots and erect 2 separate 3-unit structures for a total of 6 units. That would be by right. When we presented initially to the community, the concern that we did hear was about parking. And that in order to be required to have parking, we would have to, we would go to 6 unit, a single 6-unit building does require parking, 2 separate 3s do not. So in looking at this, we felt the appropriate trade-off was to incorporate the parking while making a single building, which is a much more efficient build.
Mr. Lins, I want to ask about what is your vision or the proponent's vision for open space. I'm looking at the site plan and I see that essentially other than housing that I personally don't have any problem with the unit count, the only open space that you are keeping is for 6 parking spaces and driveway. So how is that going to benefit the residents who may be living in those units?
Right. So great question, Mr. Valencia. That did come up during the community process. Our original plan, again, to consider 2 standalone 3s would have allowed that to be open space. But I think as this board's aware, the usable open space requirement has been eliminated under amended Article 53. Instead, we have a lot coverage limitation as well as a permeable area limitation. So we meet both of those. We are under the 60% lot coverage, and we do have the minimum of 30% permeable area. So even though we are proposing parking, we would be incorporating permeable pavers as part of that solution.
I'm aware of the open space requirement, but the question is about the quality of life of the residents who would have only parking in cars.
Understood.
Over there to spend their free time. Have you considered reducing the parking and rearranging the parking to provide at least half of the open space for the residents' use?
Once again, I think when we originally started our conversations on this, that was our intention, to not have the parking. The feedback, strong feedback from the surrounding neighborhood in this particular area, which isn't very close to public transit, was that parking was a priority for this area. So understanding that, we would have preferred an open space concept for the back of the property. The parking was something that was a real important issue for the neighborhood. And it isn't often, I'm sure as this board is aware, that we actually get the support of civic groups on projects like this. The civic group actually voted in favor based on this plan with the parking.
Final question. If you reduce the parking during this hearing, are you going to trigger a new zoning violation?
Yes, because we do propose 6 units in one building as opposed to 2 separate 3-unit buildings. We would trigger a violation for minimum off-street parking because it is 1 per unit at 6 units. We're at 0 for 1 to 3 units.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's open it to public testimony.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Eva Jones, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 60 Byron Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on Tuesday, December 9, 2025, that was lightly attended by the members in the East Boston community, where productive questions were asked regarding the proposal and comments were made about the project, where the community felt the building was nice and fit into the neighborhood well. They did also show preference for the parking in the proposal due to the immense concerns regarding this issue in the East Boston community, not just in this meeting, but in several of my meetings in this neighborhood. The feedback, the proposal was also reviewed by the Harborview Neighborhood Association at their meeting on August 4th, 2025. The association expressed support and has voted 10 in favor and 7 opposed about the proposal, and they've also provided a formal letter of support submitted to the board. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
All right. Next, we have Stephen from City Councilor Coletta.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Stefan from Councilor Coletta Zapata's office. We wanted to go on record in support of this project. Like was mentioned before from Attorney Linz, this project was supported mostly because of the parking that was included. The Harborview Neighborhood Association informed us that they voted 10 to 7 in favor. So we would like to go in support as well with the parking included. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'm going to make a motion just because I believe that 6 units are better than nothing. I still have concerns about the use of open space for parking. I believe that housing is a human right, but parking is not. But anyways, I'm going to make a motion of approval with Planning Department review, special attention to improving or revising the parking count and increasing the usable open space.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Brunel.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 181-1519 with the address of 62 Liverpool Street. If the applicant and/or their representative present, will they please explain to the board?
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Stenbridge and Madam Chair, members of the board. Richard Lins, 245 Summer Street, East Boston, on behalf of the petitioner Tequila Development. Madam Chair, if we can just jump down to maybe the context of slide 3. Maybe one more slide for that. Okay, perfect. So, Madam Chair, this board, members of this board may remember this matter was before the board maybe about a year and a half ago, where the board approved the construction of a new 3-unit residential dwelling on Coppersmith Way, which is the private way that was directly, the lot that is directly behind the building at 62 Liverpool. We had gone through the process, received our approvals, and during permitting, we were stopped by Boston Fire, who had an issue with the distance to be traveled along Coppersmith Way, even though Coppersmith Way has sufficient width, and we believed there's sufficient access for fire apparatus. They gave us a denial on authorizing any fire permit for that dwelling. So instead, we've abandoned that plan, and we have opted to propose an extension of the existing building at 62 Liverpool, which is owned by the same party. And in doing so, we were cited for 2 items. So if we can jump down to slide 7, that is the site plan, is probably the best place to start the conversation. So this is, just for context, is located in EDR4 district. So this is a pre-existing 6-unit multifamily dwelling. The zoning for EDR4 is actually a little bit more flexible than some of the other districts. And as you can see here on the site plan, we do propose an addition that is set back 3.8 feet, I believe, from what would be the left property line, and then it would be a total of almost a little over 7 feet for the rear property line. These dimensions are actually better than what was originally approved for the standalone 3-unit dwelling that would have sat on the site. And we believe that this addition meets with the spirit and intent of the amended Article 53, and I'll walk through that in a moment. Under Article 53 in the EDR4 district, we would be required to have a rear setback of 1/3 of the lot depth. And because we are proposing an addition, the existing condition that is there today for 62 would be considered a corner lot condition. As a result, you don't necessarily apply the rear yard setback when looking at a corner condition. You would look at the side yard setback. And in this particular case, side yard setbacks would be 5 feet, and we would be proposing a little over 7 feet, which is about 2 feet more than what would be required if we were doing the standalone building as originally approved. In addition, that 3.8-foot setback from the side yard would also be in compliance, and we would point the board's attention to Article 5330, which is a newer provision in the amended zoning. What that says is that when you have a pre-existing non-conforming condition, such as this one here with our building having a 0 lot line on the left, we would be entitled to follow that non-conforming condition provided we make it any worse. So as the board can see, we actually set it back 3.8 feet, which would be no worse than the existing condition, and therefore in compliance with Article 5330 for the side yard setback. We can jump down to the next slide. We can probably show floor plans. So as you can see, we do have 6 existing residential units, and the additions that we are proposing roughly around 19 feet by about 31 feet, I believe. And that would allow for additional habitable space, bedroom, bathroom, for each of these units. So these units would become a bit larger than the existing conditions and allow for a little bit more habitable space. Next slide, please. So we do also propose our roof decks, and this would be in compliance with Article 53 as well, that we would be within the height limit and the setback requirements as set forth in Article 53, and those would be exclusive to those upper level units. Next slide, please. So we do see that we don't increase the height of our building, we maintain what's there. The addition that we're proposing is strictly to the rear of the existing structure. Next slide, please. Just a couple of other different elevation views here. Next slide, please. Just showing we have our existing conditions met as well. So it's a relatively straightforward proposal. And again, just to remind the board, this was approved for a standalone 3-unit dwelling. That has been abandoned. The alternative is to do an addition to the existing structure to add livable space. We're not increasing the number of units, so there is no parking violation that is triggered, and everything else is completely within compliance of Article 53. I will pause there and answer any questions by the board.
So how big do the units become? From how many bedrooms to how many bedrooms? Like
they're single bedroom now, Madam Chair. I'm sorry. Yeah, I believe they're single bedroom now. That would go to 2-bedroom units, and the addition for each unit is 30 by 20, 600, almost around just under 300 square feet per unit.
Sorry, I think either I froze or you froze for a second, so I didn't catch the original. What's there originally, and how did? So I got the 300 square foot additions. But.
Yeah, single bedroom going to 2-bedroom.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the board?
We also have the same number of units. They're just getting larger.
That's correct. We don't change. Yeah, 6 units will remain. Correct.
Other questions from the board? Hearing none, let's take public testimony.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Evan Jones, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 62 Liverpool Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on 10/1/25 that was well attended by the East Boston community, and questions were asked about the proposal. The proposal was also reviewed by the Maverick Central Neighborhood Association at their meeting on 10/15/25. The association expressed support and voted for yes and 0 no's regarding the proposal. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everybody, for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Next, we have Stephen for Consuelo Recoleta's office.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. At this time, the Councilor's Office would like to go in support of this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Christian Simonelli.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Christian Simonelli, Boston Groundwater Trust, and we have both G-card letters from the applicant.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, thank you. Can you address the CFOD issue that's raised in the planning memo?
Hold on a second. Yeah, so I believe because this is existing condition, we're not proposing any habitable space below DFE. I believe that's the basement space, and we're not proposing any basement for this particular addition. This would be slab on grade only.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1799116 with the address of 12 Ludlow Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Sure. Hello, my name is Tim Shinn. I'm an architect here in Charlestown.
12 Ludlow Street is an existing single family, 890 square foot, single family on 3 floors. My clients are a small family, 3 of them probably before fairly soon enough, and they'd like to expand the house. Okay, there's somebody else there. All right. So basically, what they want to do is make the house bigger, I think, as anybody else would in a sub 900 square foot house. So currently now they're on Ludlow Place, and behind them is Eden Street Park. What we'd like to do is put a 3-story addition on, which is each floor would be 56 square feet. Essentially, the first floor we'd just like to make the kitchen bigger, and the addition would be 6'2" by 9 foot, utilizing what's left of the land that they have to their back property line. So it would be right up, we'd be basically filling up the lot to that rear property line. The second floor would like to add a normal sized bathroom, which would be 7'10" by 5'7" in that addition. And then on the third floor, we'd like to make a master bathroom and make a master bedroom suite on that in that square footage. Currently now, the city, there's some land there that we have a deck on that's not fast. Some of those properties have they're on the land that doesn't really belong to us. It's part of Eden Street Park. But the way it is in the field is there's a retaining wall and a fence. So it's sort of no man's land. It's been like that, as long as I've been around. And our zoning violations there's an open space violation. There'll be open space violation because they don't even have the space now. We'll be filling up, another 56 square feet of it. There'd be obviously a rear setback violation because we're already into the 15 feet as the property sits. And there'll be an FAR violation because currently we're over, I think we're 10, 15 square feet over what's allowed, and we're adding 168. Currently the house gross is 1010. We had a good community meeting, and they've got multiple letters of support from the immediate neighbors, which I believe are on record. And with that, I'll take questions if there are any from the board.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on January 15th, at which abutters were supportive of this application. Our office has also received a petition of support with 43 signatures that has been forwarded to the board. With that background, ONS defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the person, Hadisha Barini.
Yes, Hadi and Mitra Shavarini, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mitra Shavarini, and I'm with my husband, Hadi. I've been the owner of 11 Ludlow, which shares a common wall with 12 Ludlow, so we're connected, so directly, immediately adjacent. I've owned that property since 1987, and my son lives there now. I certainly support Mr. Murray's intentions of improving his house, but I really would wish that we would comply with the zoning rules that apply to all of us. After carefully reviewing the submitted plans, and I'm sorry that I could not be there for the neighborhood meeting, I would like to again reiterate that the proposal eliminates the required rear yard setback. You all know the details of that. The second is that it does not meet the open space requirement. Third, that the plans show an increase in the gross floor area, which is really an excessive space to the zoning analysis. I know I have limited time, but I really want to say that this is also going on additional land from the city, which is a really bad habit for Charlestown to be getting into for all of us, just because Mr. Sheehan said, oh, it's done. I don't think this is really a pattern we want to get into. Charlestown is someone who's on that property for 40 years. I think that's a wrong direction for the city. And Mr. Murray himself, we had a similar thing. Our space, he has 3 floors. We have 2 floors. Jim, who was the previous owner, had built a 3rd floor. And when we proposed the same exact idea to propose a 3rd floor, Mr. Murray was vehemently against this project, and we abandoned it, respecting the neighborhoods for his decision that we were adjacent to his house and would be disrupting his life, really, my son. And so, and he's also neurodivergent, so this construction would be really hazardous for his health. So we really want to defer to your judgment and hope this does not pass. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. Frank Monroy?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hi, thank you to the board. I want to thank the ZBA, the community process. Very much appreciated to Tim and my family.
Are you the property owner or are you in a butter?
No, excuse me, I'm the owner, excuse me.
Okay. So
sorry, I didn't.
Can we just make sure there's no other public comments, and if there are not, we can go back to you as the owner.
Sorry, Madam Chair.
Okay. Are there any other raised hands?
We don't have any other raised hands.
Okay, perfect. So then we can hear from the applicant on those abutter concerns. Thank you. Mr. Murray?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you again to the board. Again, like Timmy said, a little echoing off of Mr. Sheehan, just the size of the house of a growing family, where I'm an iron worker myself in the city, and my wife, Brenna, is a nurse at New Health down the street on Bunker Hill Street. We have a young daughter, 3 years old. Timmy, as he mentioned, his practice has seen many houses in my neighborhood in Charlestown, and ours is, to his words, the smallest, if not one of the smallest. Naturally, we want to grow our family. We want to stay here in Boston. I really don't want to go anywhere else. Prior comments to our direct neighbor, there was never any true issue with their project. It's just I had structural issues that I thought maybe should have been addressed. It's not my take to tell somebody what to do with their house. It's more or less just a structural issue. But with that being said, I hope the board is willing to consider the fact that so small of the house and so small of the land that we are on to potentially grow in this house is very hard, naturally. That's why we're asking for the addition. Thank you.
Thank you. And can Mr. Sheehan, or can someone remind us, the board, what's the total square foot addition? Because you have 966 square feet right now.
Yeah, we're adding 168, 56 per floor. We're essentially adding a bathroom every floor. It's a very small space.
Thank you. Other questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I just realized that I need to recuse myself from this case.
Okay, so we are a 6-member board.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, Madam Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1796393 with the address of 241 Bunker Hill Street. If the applicant and or the representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair and the board. My name is Beth McDougall. I am the architect for 241 Bunker Hill. So what we're proposing here is to add a small roof deck on top of the first floor. If you could go to the next page, please, and the next page. Thank you. On the right, you can see on the left-hand side is the small deck, which would be on top of the first floor with a spiral stair that would go up to a deck on the top floor. Now, the deck on the lower level is 10 by 15. We're using the existing house structure to support that. And then the deck on the top is 18 feet by 21 feet on the top of the house. We've held the deck back 6 feet from the roof edge. It's 5'10" from the actual structure. And what these two decks will do is they will give us a combined space of 546 open space for the house. The spiral stair, as you come out of the second floor to go onto that deck, you'll go up the spiral stair up to the top deck. And I'll stop there. It's fairly straightforward and answer any questions you may have.
So can you confirm, so this is for the same unit, both decks?
It's a single family home, yes ma'am.
Okay. Questions from the board? Hearing none, is there public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, C. Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This application completed the community process and a butters meeting was hosted by our office on October 30th, 2025, at which no concerns were raised. With that background, judgment from our office is deferred to the board. Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Hello,
Mr.
Ray.
Langham? Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair and board.
Next, we have case BOA 1763761 with the address of 10 Harold Park. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Secretary, and good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, Attorney Madical with Fletcher Tilton on behalf of the applicant. With me this morning is Jennifer Hoff from Pew Architecture, the project architect. We're here this morning seeking to change the occupancy of the existing structure from a 3-family dwelling to a 5-family dwelling and renovate the building. The project site is located at 10 Harold Park, which is near the dead end at the end of Harold Street and Harold Park and abuts the City of Boston open space parcel. The site is located within a 3F 4000 zoning district and is one of the largest lots in the area, containing over 8,700 square feet. So you can see the lot there on the presentation and the existing structure. This project that we're proposing presents a fairly unique situation where we're seeking to add 2 units to the existing building while proposing very limited changes to the overall structure and no exterior changes from the street. It includes a renovation interior and utilizing existing space both within the lower level as well as a built-out existing 4th story, overall making the building more functional and again creating the 2 additional residential units. We're also seeking to create some additional open space by utilizing space on the existing 3rd story roof in the rear to create a deck for the proposed 5th unit on that 4th level. Overall, the lower level unit will have both egress window wells to provide light and egress, as well as a full rear walkout to a sunken patio. And again, the 5th unit will be in that existing 4th story, which you can see. So that'll be the smallest unit at 2 bedrooms because we'll keep the profile of the building as is and then just add the deck to the rear of that unit. Overall, in terms of violations, we are seeking a use variance. This is a 3F district and we are seeking the 2 additional units. However, as mentioned, this is one of the largest lots in the area. We're also seeking relief for additional lot area per dwelling unit. The floor area ratio, you're allowed a 0.8. We are proposing a 1.0. But again, all that space that we're seeking to legalize is already within the building. It's just making it more functional and utilized for residential units. And then finally, we did trigger a violation for height in terms of feet, but that's based on the roof deck alone. Again, the building's already 46 feet tall. We are not adding any structures above the current roof line, so the building profile will remain exactly as you see it today. As part of this process, we did meet with the abutters as well as appearing before the Garrison Trotter Housing Committee and their full membership meeting, where they ultimately voted to support the project. We also submitted several letters of support through the board, which you should have on file. With that, I'll very briefly turn it over to Jennifer Ha, again, the project architect. She can briefly walk through the floor plans and elevations and some of the landscaping as well.
Hello, Madam Chair and board members. My name is Jennifer Ha. I'm the principal architect at Q Architecture. My office is at 53H Harvard Street in Dorchester. So 10 Hale Park is an existing three-family building that's built in 1905 as a 4-story mansard multifamily home. The exterior has been recently refaced in the last 5 years, and the owner wishes to convert the building from 3 to 5 units. The new units will be both within the existing building shell. The changes in the building exterior are pretty minimal, as what Matt had explained, and it includes a sunken patio for the basement, a roof deck over the rear abutment, and a new exterior stair at the building rear. The proposed basement unit will use the existing entrance lobby of the building, that's on the first floor, and it will host 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It will feature a private sunken patio for the kitchen living space. The first floor, second floor, and third floor are original to the house. Those are units that are already have a private rear deck space. So there's not really many changes on that. On the fourth floor unit is within the existing 992 square foot mansard. So the space is already there. It has a beautiful high ceilings and views to the city. So there's already been a walkout towards the roof to that rear abutment. It will host 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, as well as a new private roof deck. So that rear abutment roof is now going to be an official deck instead of just a rubber membrane. The front facade of the building essentially stays the same as what Matt had explained, and the visible changes on the exterior can only be seen from the rear of the house, which is the rear roof deck, the rear stairs, and the sunken patio. That's the end of my presentation.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. Madam Chair, with that, we've happily take any questions the board might have.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony? I'm
Just
sorry?
to clarify, the new units are at the mansard and at the basement, right? There's already units on the first, second, and third.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And the only addition or part exterior-wise is the stair in the back.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Roxbury Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on August 12th. That was lightly attended, and a concern for parking was heard multiple times, feeling the cul-de-sac is too small to provide no parking, as well as a concern for traffic, the increase of, and affordability. Next, the proposal was presented to Greater Trotter Neighborhood Association, who voted in support of the proposal. To date, our office has received 10 letters of support recognizing and supporting the need for more housing. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board with their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
I make a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Next, we have case BOA 1784542 with the address of 9 Claiborne Street. If the applicant and the representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Ready? My name is Stedman Blake. I'm the owner, me and my wife own 9 Claiborne Street in Dorchester. And 15 years ago, we had violations for rooms, and they were actually studios. And it was silent for 15 years, and then we come back up in 2025. So they tell us to file with the city to get it legalized. And we're hoping that as a minority, that you all will help us to get a relief so we could pay the taxes and be good citizens. We take care of our property, and we just want to get a relief and make Dorchester great again.
So just to confirm, it's been functioning as a 5-family, but listed as a 3, and you're trying to correct it to be a 5. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. We try to get it straightened out, and we want everything to be straight and good. Yes.
Okay. Are there questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Dorchester Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting held on November 20th with no abutters present. Next, the proponent presented to United Neighborhood Association and with no opposition completed the community process. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board agenda.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Motion of approval.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1774682 with the address of 25 Tina Avenue. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, good morning once again, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, Attorney Matt Eckel with Fletcher Tilton on behalf of the applicant. With me this morning is James Christopher from 686, the project architects. We're seeking to erect a new residential building with 3 ownership units and 3 parking spaces on a lot known as 25 Tina Avenue. The existing lot contains 3,600 square feet and is currently vacant and overgrown. Tina Ave itself is a private way that connects to Wood Ave and Oakwood Street in Hyde Park. We are proposing a 3-story building with a common entrance and 1 unit laid out per floor. Just to briefly go through the floor plans, we will have a very small basement area which will just house a sprinkler and mechanical room. The first floor will house Unit 1, which is proposed to be 878 square feet with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The second and third floor are very similar. They will house Unit 2 and Unit 3, and they're both proposed to be 1,265 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Each unit will have 1 dedicated parking space. 2 of the spaces are located at grade underneath the proposed building. As you can see in the side elevation there, we're kind of cantilevered over, and that's going to provide space for 2 of the parking spaces, and the third space will be looking at the screen to the left, but towards the rear of the property. That'll be a fully exterior parking space so that each unit will have 1 dedicated space. As part of this process, we met several times with the abutters as well as the East River Neighborhood Association. We made several changes to the project, mostly revolving around the design to make sure it better fit in with the context of the neighborhood. We had more of a triple-decker look to start, and we worked with the abutters here to come up with a more contextual design that fits within the neighborhood and doesn't play as much as a triple-decker. As a result of that, we did receive several letters of support from direct abutters, as well as a letter from City Councilor Pepin, which shall all be on file with the board. With that, I'll happily pause and take any questions the board may have.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
Yes, one of the neighbors submitted a comment mentioning that you will have to cut at least 9 trees. Is that correct? And if so, what is your plan for the open space?
Sure, Mr. Valencia. So yes, the property is vacant. It's been overgrown for some time, so most of the coverage there are invasive species. So we do have a landscaping plan, which you can see a little bit in the aerial view, the site plan. We have some plantings along the front of the street, along Tina Ave itself, kind of providing a buffer between that walkway. We also have some plantings at the rear and maintain a 6-foot side setback to the left. The right side will be the driveway providing access to the parking. So we will be taking down some trees, but they're mostly invasive, and it's just been kind of an unkept lot for many years.
Other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Hyde Park Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on October 8th. That was very well attended. Abutters voiced their concerns for the size of the proposal, feeling it is too large with a small lot, and for the two-family duplex would be more in line with the character of the neighborhood. The proposed 1-to-1 parking ratio per unit was also a concern, as abutters did not feel it provided enough parking considering the parking congestion issues. Other concerns were ownership, the number of variances being sought, rodent mitigation during construction, and repairing of the private road the proposal sits on. Next, the proponent presented the East River Neighborhood Association, where they voted to oppose the proposal, feeling a three-family home would set a negative precedent for the neighborhood. To date, our office has received 8 letters of support, one of them from Councilor Pepin's office, supporting the need for more housing while staying in line with the character of the neighborhood. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board with their judgment.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Charlene.
Good morning. My name is Charlene Brantley. My address is 18 Tina Avenue. I'm diagonal from 25 Tina Avenue. Nick and his team has met with residents to present the design plans and to listen to the residents. The team made changes to the design plans in response to the residents' concern, one mainly being the structure of the roof. So it can be in alignment more with the other houses on Oakwood and Tina Avenue. Even after that, Nick has made himself available after the abutters meeting to meet as a whole, if we wanted to, or one-on-one. I personally spoke with Nick several times. I appreciate his availability and his accessibility to hear my concerns, to address them, and to make the changes. I support the proposal because I support the opportunity for home ownership. Thank you so much for giving me time to speak.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we have Natalie Reed.
Hello, I am can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. I'm at 22 Oakwood Street, so when we look out our front window where I sit to do some work, I actually look at this location. It is overgrown. I don't believe those are invasive species. I mean, I suppose most trees are from another country, so most of them are, but there are 11 violations. So it's the front, the side, the rear, the height, like everything is in violation. So actually, I was only invited to one other meeting, and I did attend. So maybe the meetings were just not as, we didn't know about them. But I am not in agreement with this, mostly the parking issue as well with 3 new units. Oakwood Street is also a private way, and so we have 2 spaces for us, but there's not, I mean, like all of the parking is on someone's land since it's a private way, and we own the space right in front of our houses. So I think parking will be an issue. I know that when we had a conversation or a meeting, the meeting that I went to, he was proposing possibly making it 2 units instead of 3. So I see that was not listened to. So yeah, I'm not sure how many people, are in agreement with that. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Jocelyn.
Yes, good morning. This is Jocelyn Campbell. I'm an attorney and I with the law firm of Rudolph.
Will you speak up, ma'am?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes,
hear me now?
thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jocelyn Campbell. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Rudolph Friedman, LLP in Boston. And we represent Oakwood Street, LLC. And David Rafferty is the manager of that LLC. And they own the property. They're direct abutters at 27-29 Tina and 11 Oakwood, and also 15-25 Oakwood and the small parcel next to that. So they are the direct abutters on one side of this property. And they are in opposition. I've submitted an opposition letter already last week. And The gist of the opposition, I know I have just a short amount of time here, is that he feels that the project, and the LLC feels the project is just too large. It's too large for this tiny lot. It's too large for this private way. To submit and have 3 family with 3 bedrooms each on this property is excessive. And that's just gist of the complaint. And we agree with the fact about the meetings. Mr. Rafferty did indicate to me that he received, I believe it was just 2 pages of notices, but wasn't aware of all the meetings that occurred. So we would respectfully ask that this
motion. Are you agreeing?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional hands raised at the moment.
Okay, Mr. Echo, would you like to briefly address the concerns raised?
Sure, yeah, happy to, Madam Chair. So in terms of the parking, we understand parking is always a concern. However, with the trend to move away from too much impervious, we thought a 1-to-1 parking ratio is in line with the neighborhood and obviously provides adequate parking for the units. There are 2 3-bedrooms and 1 2-bedroom unit, just for the record. I think someone mentioned there being 3 3-bedrooms, but obviously with this being home ownership, the 1-to-1 parking ratio gives future homeowners the knowledge of what they will have with their property and bring that type of owner who may only have 1 car. It is a private road on Tina Ave, and that's certainly something that any future owners will know. With a private road comes some responsibility to work together with neighbors, obviously, to have certain rights over the street. I apologize, it does look like someone from 19 Tina Ave maybe was trying to speak in support. I'm not sure if they are not a panelist. But in terms of the last commenter, I will just point out for the record that the properties that was the first we heard of any opposition from them. They do have a 2-family directly to our left and then 6 units around the corner. So it's a little bit disingenuous to talk about the size, I think, of the property there when they have 8 units kind of wrapping around the corner, and we're just proposing a 3-family. So we do think it's in context with the neighborhood. We designed the building to look very much like the buildings that wrap around the corner, which were referenced, the 2-family to the left, and then the 6 units as you go around the corner to Oakwood. So we do think it's appropriate. It does provide home ownership units and much needed residential opportunities. And as mentioned, we have, I believe, 6 or 7 letters of support from direct abutters as well.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Chair, I make a motion of approval with the proviso that plans have to be submitted to the planning department for design review to increase and improve open space if possible, and also improve parking configuration. And also that the applicant consider using permeable materials for the driveway and the parking spaces.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1732278 with the address of 26 Easton Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman and board members. My name is Stephen David. I represent RAC Investments, whose principal is Ricardo Jean. The 26 Reston Street is located in Hyde Park. This street dead ends. There's 16 residential units on this street, 12 are multifamilies, 4 are singles, and there's a rather large commercial over an acre lot at the end of the street. The street, in fact, dead ends. I have with me Bonnie Tan from JCBT Architects. She is going to take you through the projects, and then we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Bonnie?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Bonnie Tan with JCBT Architect. We are proposing to demolish the existing 2-family structure located at 26 Eastern Ave, Hyde Park. and construct a new 4-story, 8-unit residential building on the current lot. The ground floor will include an open parking garage with 8 parking spaces, along with 1 ADA accessible 2-bed, 2-bath unit. The second floor will consist of 3 units, each with 2-bed, 2-bath. The third and fourth floors will feature a 2 regular unit and 2 bi-level units. The bi-level units will have 3-bed, 3-bath, and a private roof deck. Unit size will range about 800 to 1,200 square feet each. The exterior design will feature a modern architectural style consistent with many recently approved multifamily developments in the city. The project abuts the commuter rail, will require approval from Keolis. The surrounding area includes a mix of smaller multifamily homes and industrial buildings. We also receive support from District 5 Councilor. So the exterior will looking to have hardy siding and PVC and some modern designs, black windows. We'll have a roof deck, private roof deck on the top floor as a penthouse units. This is my end of my presentation.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
Yeah, I have one small question. Will you be rental properties or ownerships?
That decision hasn't been made. It's been designed as a rental a building and easily convertible over to home ownership.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Hyde Park Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on July 31st, lightly attended with 4 guests, 2 being civics leadership, where inquiries were addressed and concerns were raised regarding open space for children to play and the verbiage of the refusal letter regarding forbidden use. Next, the proposal was presented to Hyde Park Neighborhood Association, where they voted in opposition to the proposal, feeling the neighborhood is dealing with overdevelopment and the proposal has too many violations. To date, our office has received 1 letter of support from Councilor Enrique Pepin's office. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for the judgment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Can the applicant address the concerns that were mentioned?
We took the concerns very seriously. It was the opposition at the meeting was more about the new development rather than the project, quite frankly. So the open space is something that we could deal with, possibly with the Boston Planning and Development at that time. This particular area would actually benefit from this project in terms of, some of the homes in the area are much older. This could stimulate some redevelopment and remodeling in that area. The street dead ends, so it's really safe at that area. There's only one traveling on that street would be people who live there, doesn't access anywhere. So we attempted to address those issues. That particular issue was a challenge.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
The next case has been deferred, so we'll return to the first case of the 9:30 hearing to see if anyone's present.
I'm present.
So this will be for case BOA 178-5172 with the address of 254 Bremen Street. Would you go ahead, please, Ms. Michael?
Yes, and thank you, and apologies for my earlier Wi-Fi connection issues. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Jeff Thomas. I am the homeowner and proponent of the project at 254 Bremen Street in East Boston. We are seeking a conditional use permit to construct a single-story vertical addition and roof deck on an existing triple-decker to expand the living space for our third-floor unit, allowing us to accommodate a growing family and call East Boston home for the foreseeable future. We designed this addition to be as compliant with Plan East Boston zoning as possible and to fit in with the context of our neighbors on Bremen Street. You can go to the second slide. The relief we're requesting is specific to Article 53 regarding roof structure setbacks. While we meet almost all the criteria, we're seeking relief from the 5-foot setback requirement on the roof edges. Due to the narrow footprint of the building, a mandatory 5-foot setback on all sides kind of shrinks the deck to an unusable area and would require us to move the egress staircase internally, which would obviously be difficult and render the deck pretty small and make elements of the project inside infeasible. The same setback requirements would also make the proposed solar array kind of difficult to pull off. You can scroll down to the third slide. Despite the lack of setbacks on the roof, we intentionally positioned the deck at the rear of the property so it's not visible from the street level. And we're going to design the structure to support large planters around that we can frame the deck to minimize any potential nuisance to our neighbors. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions about the project.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Services. Regarding 254 Bremen Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on Monday, November 24th, 2025, that was attended by 2 community members who did not have any questions or comments regarding the proposal. It was also reviewed by the Maverick Central Neighborhood Association, and they decided to support the project. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Next, we have Stephen Marie.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. At this time, our office would like to go in support of this project. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll take a break till 11 a.m. Stembridge.
Present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Valencia. Mr. Langham.
Present.
Ms. Wewell.
Present.
Ms. Turner.
Present.
Mr. Burnell.
Present.
Mr. Valencia. Okay, it looks like he has not rejoined yet. Okay, Mr. Valencia.
Present.
All right, thank you. Okay, so
Sorry,
here's Mr. Stembridge. All good.
It's too nice to be indoors.
So with that, we will go to the hearing scheduled for 11 a.m. At this time, we'll ask if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 11 a.m. hearing.
Chair, yes,
Yeah.
are you seeking a deferral?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Jared Eigerman, Nutter, McLennan, and Fish for the first item, 119 to 127 North Washington.
Okay, please let Mr. Stembridge read it into the record first.
Very good.
So this request is for case BOA 1782541 with the address of 119 to 127 North Washington Street. Would you go ahead and explain?
Yes, I represent the appellant Copper Mill North End, but the property is actually owned by a family business now known as Jake Realty Inc., and they've asked for a deferral of 2 months to discuss internally with their family.
Okay, Caroline?
We could do May 19th, June 2nd, June 16th.
May 19th, please.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer till May 19th.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. See you then.
Thank you.
So again, we'll ask if there are any requests for further withdrawals or deferrals from the 11 o'clock hearing. And with that, we'll move on to the case BOA 1796362 with the address of 566 Commonwealth Avenue. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Secretary, and good morning once again, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, Attorney Matt Eckel with Fletcher Tilton on behalf of the applicant. With me this morning is Eric Zackerson from Context, the project architect. The proposal before you is we're seeking to convert a portion of the second floor at 566 Commonwealth Ave into 6 new residential units. Currently, the building at 566 Com Ave, known as Kenmore Tower, contains 111 residential units as well as office space. This project would convert some of that existing office space on the second floor into new residential units for a total of 117 residential units. The site is located in Kenmore Square and is within the Boston proper zoning district and a B4 sub-district. The lot itself is approximately 24,000 square feet and is surrounded by many different uses, including residential, retail, offices, and institutional. The property is located between the Blandford Street and Kenmore MBTA stations, providing access to the Green Line, as well as bus route number 57, which runs right along Commonwealth Ave outside of the building. The project itself involves interior renovations to create the 6 new residential units, all of which would be proposed to be 1-bedroom units. There are no exterior changes proposed or changes to the building footprint. This will all be within the second level of the existing building. The proposed multifamily use is an allowed use. However, we are seeking relief from the board this morning for usable open space, as this is obviously an existing building on an existing site we don't have the ability to add any additional open space for the new proposed units. As part of the process, we met with the abutters as well as the Kenmore Square Business Association and obviously stakeholders within the building, and no concerns were expressed at those times. With that, I'll pause and happily take any questions the board may have.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services that completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on January 7th at which no concerns were raised. The Kenmore Square Association has no concerns regarding this application. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Anthony. I'm calling on behalf of Councilor Sharon Durkin, who would like to go on record in support.
Thank you.
Then next we have NAS RCC Moderator.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Minor Perez with the Carpenters Union. We just like to go on record on support of the project. Thank you, Mr. Pasador.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I have a second. Mr. Stanbridge.
Yes.
Mr. Valencia.
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Ms. Wewell.
Yes.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Brunel.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1798179 with the address of 555 to 567 East Broadway. If the applicants and/or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chairman, members of the board. My name is Francis Adams. I'm an attorney in South Boston with a business address of 350 West Broadway. I represent the owner, Stephen Collins, who is also on the call. As the application today is to add a roof deck to an existing townhouse condominium. The first slide shows the site plan. We are seeking relief for Article 6829 roof deck restriction and also Article 68 building height excessive. This project is new construction, 6 townhouse condominiums located on East Broadway in South Boston. Next slide, please. You can see the front elevation of the property. Broadway slopes down from G to Broadway, from G Street to H Street. Next slide, please. It shows the deck. The proposed addition of the deck, as you can see from the proposal, is a roof deck to an existing structure, accessed directly from the unit via a hatch from within the unit. There are no exterior staircases or balconies. It's an exclusive use deck solely for the use of the unit owner. This is the side of Broadway. There's a parapet. The whole deck is hidden behind the parapet. It's below the level of the parapet. If the board can't see, but the property is surrounded in the rear entirely by the Verizon building. There is no residential abutters in the rear. And to the right of the building on the Broadway facing side, there are 5 commercial storefronts. Then there's the South Boston Courthouse, and then there's the Paraclete Center. There are virtually no residential abutters in the rear or to the right of the property. As I said, the deck will be accessed directly from the unit. Exclusive use. It's not a common deck. The deck is set back, as you can see, it's approximately 6 feet from East Broadway, so the you cannot be seen from the Broadway side, and as I said, in the rear and to the right, it's all commercial buildings. It's not going to be visible from any of those buildings. Total size of the deck is approximately 12 by 7 or 300 square feet. It's accessed directly from the deck, and this deck is from the roof hatch, and we're seeking a conditional use as well as a variance for the 2 violations that are cited. With that, we can take any questions from the board.
Questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on December 11th, 2025. Abutters were opposed to the application. Abutters stated that part of the community process for the construction of this building was a compromise for no roof decks on the building. Our office has received 3 letters of opposition that has been forwarded to the board. Our office is aware of a petition from 11 abutters that has been forwarded to the board. Gate of Heaven Neighborhood Association is opposed to this application. With that background, ONS defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ashley from Councilor Flynn.
Good morning. My name is Ashley from Councilor Flynn's office. Councilor Flynn wrote to the board today in complete opposition to the proposal at 555 East Broadway. There was significant opposition during the community process with nearby neighbors in the Gate of Heaven Neighborhood Association meeting. Moreover, the reason why the Gate of Heaven Neighborhood Association in my office supported the original project years ago and now oppose this one is specifically due to a good faith compromise to remove the roof decks. Residents believed individual owners adding roof decks after the fact does not deal with our housing crisis, and there is no hardship to address. Councilor Flynn has a long-standing policy against roof decks in the residential areas of South Boston due to years of negative feedback from our seniors, persons with disabilities, and young families on the quality of life issues in the form of noise at all hours, trash removal, and subsequent pest control concerns. As South Boston has become a destination for young people to visit on the weekend, these neighborhood issues have increased dramatically. Moreover, as a roof deck does not address our housing crisis, Councilor Flynn believes it should not be granted zoning relief to benefit individual property owners over many concerned neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
So can the applicant address that comment about the pre-existing sort of agreement?
Yeah, sure, Madam Chairman. First off, Mr. Collins did not have an agreement with the abutters. He's a residential unit owner. He recently purchased the condominium. My understanding is when the project was approved by this board previously, there was no restrictions on roof deck. Furthermore, the original application was for rental units, not homeownership units. The developer had turned the property into all residential units as a compromise. Furthermore, Mr. Collins is an owner-occupant. He's a sole person living in the property. There is no renter in the building. There is no party deck. It's an exclusive use common deck for one particular person. As far as the abutters opposition, I would again like to point out to the board, there is no residential abutters in the rear of the property. The Verizon building takes up half a city block, which is directly behind this property. Furthermore, if you're looking at the front of the building, there's 5 commercial buildings to the right, as well as the South Boston Courthouse, and then the community center, the Paraclete Center for the city of Boston. There's no residential abutters in any direction in the rear or to the right. I respect Councilor Flynn's position. I know he opposes all roof decks. We don't disagree with that, but this particular project is recommended by approval by the planning department. We've completed the community process, and again, as far as noise, I don't disagree with the councilor. If there is noise, it's sometimes it's with rental units. This is an owner-occupied property. Mr. Collins had no agreement, and it's a great use of open space. The property has no additional open space, and those are 2 of the reasons the planning department did recommend approval for this. So hopefully that addressed the question, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'm in agreement with the Boston Planning Department, and I make a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Mr. Stanbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
No.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, board. Appreciate it.
Next, we have case BOA 1818358 with the address of 165 Tudor Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair. My name is Charlie Tevin. I'm an attorney at 15 Broad Street, Boston. I'm appearing on behalf of the applicant, 162 West 7th Street LLC, Darren McGuire and Philip Keene as co-managers. Mr. Keene is also available on this hearing to answer any questions. The proposal is seeking a conditional use permit to make the longstanding use of this 819 square foot parcel for parking zoning compliant. This 15 feet by 52 feet, 15 feet wide by 52 feet wide, parcel is part of a larger parcel which was conveyed to the direct abutters in 1995 by the city of Boston as part of the abutter lots program, with the restriction running with the land that no structure could be erected on the property and that the premises would remain open for uses including but not limited to off-street parking. The proponent has completed the neighborhood process and the abutter process. There is no opposition to this, of which we are aware. We've also been in close communication with the Office of District Councilor Ed Flynn and regarding this project, and finally we understand that the Planning Department has recommended approval and has concluded that the requested relief is appropriate. And with that, I'm available or able to answer any questions that the board may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on January 14th, at which no abutters chose to speak. Cityside Neighborhood Association was made aware of this application and has taken no position. Our office is unaware of any other concerns. That background judgment is deferred to the board. Thank you.
Next we have Ashley from Councilor Flynn's office.
Thank you. Councilor Flynn would like to go on record in support based on a good community process. He respectfully requests that the proponent continue to work closely with neighbors on quality of life issues that may arise during the construction phase. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next we have Philip Kiane.
Mr. Keene is a co-owner, Madam Chair, so he would be in support.
Does not need to be, of course. Thank you. Any other raised hands?
Madam Chair, there are no additional hands raised.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to
approve. I'm sorry.
second.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Weaver?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Burnell?
Yes.
Mr. Burnson? Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board.
Next, we have case BOA 1798127 with the address of 16 Chilcott Place. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
How you doing? My name is Cole Chaprari. I'm a project manager for Cone Construction. I'm here representing 16 Chilcott and Jesus Martinez. I can share my screen if you just give me 1 second.
So you need to present with what the ambassador is scrolling here.
Oh, okay. So this is existing proposed plot plan. We and Jesus Martinez are looking to add a 20 by 22 third floor addition with a new full bathroom, and HVAC and plumbing with cedar shingles. We have received approval in the past from the Englehood, Carol Royce and the Angleston Square Neighborhood Association. We originally were denied, or there was a denial for non-conforming and certain variances, but as you can see from the proposed plot plans, we're making more space for more housing options. Jesus has been a great landlord and made multiple affordable housing locations available for residents of the city of Boston. So this is basically extending and adding an addition on top of the existing building itself and not expanding it or going out on the roadway to block any neighbors or up or out any more than it currently is. It's just expanding the current footprint. And we have
Questions from the-
received support from the neighbors and the neighborhood association as well.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Jamaica Plain Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on January 8th that was lightly attended. Abutters voiced inquiries regarding the construction timeframe and the aesthetics of the proposal, specifically the painting and the shingles. 2 abutters voiced support for the proposal. Next, the proponent presented to Eggleston Square Neighborhood Association and Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council. Eggleston Square Neighborhood Association supports the proposal. Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council zoning voted to approve the proposal. To date, our office has received 2 letters of support, one from Eggleston Square Neighborhood Association and one from Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council recommending the proposal's approval. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
I put forward a motion of approval.
There's a second.
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Next, we have case BOA 1804462 with the address of 203 Clare Avenue. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Madam Chair, members of the board, good morning and thank you for your time. This is Kyle Smith of Statera Law, business address of 359 Newbury Street in Boston's Back Bay, here to present on behalf of the owner. I believe the owner is on the line as well and does have some language-related complications, being primarily Spanish-speaking. If there's any translator available, that would, in the event that he has questions that the board would like for him to answer, if that could be provided to him. But otherwise, happy to proceed and speak on behalf of the owner.
Please do so. Did you request interpretation in advance?
It was only known to me last minute that he would be able to attend, so I had not previously requested it.
Okay, so just please keep that in mind in the future.
Understood.
Thank you. Please proceed.
So, Madam Chair, members of the board, if you proceed to the site plan, if you enlarge that small right portion of the corner, you'll see that this is an adjacent parcel to the former church site, the All Grace Harvest Church. We have an approximate 12,500 square foot lot that is largely clear cut and macadam. This is a prior parking lot servicing the prior church site. On the leftmost portion of this kind of, multi-shaped parcel, we have on the rightmost and leftmost side on Collins Street and also on Clare Avenue, we have 2 existing curb cuts. And the plan is to utilize those curb cuts for access for parking. So we don't need to obtain any new curb cuts to service the site. The proposal is to basically erect housing in a single-family sub-district adjacent to some larger zoned portions of this immediate community for a proposed 4-story. First floor is partially subsurface. We have about 4 to 5 feet of exposure between grade height and the ceiling of the proposed basement level unit, with appropriate window wells and the like for that unit, and then 3 units above, so a total of 4 units in this stacked quadruple decker. Again, we have an approximate 12,500 square foot lot size. We're seeking relief for several dimensional regulations for FAR. For exceeding the number of stories, where 2.5 is allowed, we're proposing 3 with partially subsurface basement unit. 35 feet of maximum height is permitted in the sub-district. The proposal is for a building height of just sub 37 feet. We have 40 feet of required setback from the rear. The proposal at the pinch point is 34.78 feet, so just slightly under the requirement. Parking requirements for this area are 2 per unit. We're proposing 4 in aggregate, 1 per unit. We also need relief for the number of units in a single-family sub-district. And then there's also, just general concerns about basement dwelling units. But again, we do have approximately 4 to 5 feet of exposure from grade to ceiling height of the proposed lower level living. I guess with that, I can turn it over to the board for follow-up questions or concerns.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
Yes, how many curb cuts do you have for this site?
There are pre-existing 2. The intent is to maintain and utilize those 2.
Okay, now I saw that the plan department is recommending to close one of those. Have you had conversations with the plan department about that?
Ideally, I would say existing infrastructure, curb cuts is a value. So I think for the ability to enter and exit, right, to maintain traffic flow, it would be preferable to maintain them and not to close up one of the curb cuts. But that's a conversation I guess we can continue to have with the people through the planning process. But ideally, we'd like to maintain that which is existing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Hyde Park Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on October 23rd, very lightly attended with 2 immediate abutters and one abutter who expressed a concern for the foundation, stating there is a ledge they are aware of that runs below and across the street. Abutters were concerned for the impact the project will have on the foundation and inquired how the dig will be done safely, including the removal of the ledge. Next, the proposal was presented to Hyde Park Neighborhood Association, where they voted in support of the proposal. To date, our office has received 1 letter of support, again from the Hyde Park Neighborhood Association. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Any feedback from the applicant on comments?
Sure. So 2 things. I did fail to mention the proposed blend of beds and baths in the units. They're all kind of stacked with the same footprint, but the proposal is for 3-bed, 2.5 baths per unit with an approximate building footprint of 1,800 square feet. So nice sized, generally family-oriented type units. As far as the concern, there is no ledge on site. I've worked with other communities, specifically, Rockview Street and Jamaica Plain, where that was also a concern. There's an ability to maintain and take existing kind of conditions of other neighboring structures. So, in building in the city, building close to other structures, there is an ability for engineers to take existing conditions and monitor that. So we're confident in the ability to, build the site while also maintaining and respecting a budding structure.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll put forward a motion of approval with a proviso that plans are submitted to the planning department for design review to ensure the adequate design of the basement dwelling unit. I also agree with Mr. Valencia's comment about the 2 curb cuts that was also raised in the planning memo. I don't think 4 units warrants 2 curb cuts, so I would also add design review to review closing the curb cut and eliminating the driveway off Collins Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1796654 with the address of 41 Slocum Road. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Yes.
Is the applicant present?
Right here, yep.
Okay, can you identify yourself and please proceed?
Tim Bailey from Bailey Dayball Studio Build. I'm the general contractor on this project. and it's basically a basement renovation. We actually thought it had heating in the basement until everything was moved out of it. Basically it's just adding HVAC system to the basement, enhancing the existing space, creating a bathroom and a bar underneath the basement stairs. It's not going outside the existing basement footprint at all, and no changes to the exterior of the home.
Thank you. Questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Jamaica Plain Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on December 15th with one abutter in attendance that voiced support as they saw nothing that raised concerns. Next, the proposal was presented to Jamaica Hills Association on January 14th and Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council Zoning on January 21st, where both associations approved the proposal. To date, our office has received one letter of support from Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Council recommending approval. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board for their judgment.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, since we passed the 11:30 hour, I will ask at this point if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 11:30 a.m. hour. Hearing none, we'll return to the 11 o'clock, and we'll go to case BOA 1803365 with the address of 857 Beacon Street. If the applicant and/or their representative is present, would they please explain to the board?
Yes, thank you. Cameron Merrill. I apologize. When I was promoted as a panelist, my video shut off and I'm having trouble turning it back on. I didn't want to restart my computer right on the cusp of presenting, so I apologize for the fact that the video is not on. Aaron Steves is present as well, but my name is Cameron Merrill. I'm counsel for the association, the Inverness Condominium Association, 100 State Street, Boston, Massachusetts. This project comes before you after about 2 years of attempting an elevator modernization after the elevator in this 5-story building failed about 2 years ago. This project has been presented to the AAB, the elevator commission before the state, and it was before that elevator commission that they did request the head house be enlarged and a stair be built to the head house for the elevator equipment. This is shown on page A6 is the best page to see this. So we did previously have a building permit, but it was based on that request, as you can see there, that the plans had to be amended to account for additional head height. So ultimately the structure is going to be about 3 feet 6 inches taller than it had been. We're expecting little to no visibility from the street, and the unit owners are in desperate need of this. As you can see, it's a stair walk up. You have a letter, I believe, from a unit owner upstairs. We have attempted to work this every single possible way without a full-fledged modernization. Engineers, specialists, architects, consultants, but unfortunately a $1.2 million modernization is what we resulted with. This has been approved by the board, funding's in place. This was just a last-minute hiccup that we did not anticipate, given the amendment that the state board requested for the elevator head house. And again, I apologize for the video. Typically, I have it on, as you know. I'm not sure what happened there.
No problem. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on January 13th, at which no concerns were raised. Office received one letter of support from an abutter and another letter of support from the Audubon Circle Neighborhood Association. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Hello, Madam Chair. Tony Bias again from Councilor Sharon Durkin's office. She'd just like to go on record in support.
Thank you.
And we have somebody from the public, Brian McWright. If you can unmute yourself.
Good day.
Yes.
Are you here to speak in support or opposition of this project, 857 Beacon Street?
No, I'm in support of 378, 380 with Derek Rubinoff.
Okay, we're not there yet. That's next. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have Minor Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Madam Chair, members of the board, Minor Perez representing the Carpenters Union. We'd like to go on record in support of this project proposal.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, without, there are no additional comments.
May I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge. Are you on mute, Mr. Stenbridge?
Sorry about that, Madam Chair. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Valencia.
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Ms. Wewell.
Yes.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Burnell.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board.
And next we have case BOA 1799257 with the address of 378 to 380 Washington Street. If the applicant and the representative, I believe, are present, will they please explain to the board?
Sure. Good morning, Madam Chair, and to the board. My name is Derek Rubinoff from Derek Rubinoff Architecture, 84 Spring Street in West Roxbury. I'll be presenting. I'm the architect for the project, and with me online here are the owners, Jonah Safar and Brian Johnson. This is a simple project. It's a 3,037 square foot tenancy in a 15,805 square foot building in Brighton Center. And we're looking to change the use of of a tenancy space in the back of the building from what was previously a temp agency office to a puzzle room. And we need zoning relief for a couple of things. The first is that there isn't really a puzzle room category in the Brighton zoning article in terms of uses. The use most closely relates to amusement game machines in a commercial establishment, which is a conditional use. And then the second thing that we need relief for is parking. 12 spaces are required. Like I said, it's a pretty simple fit out. We'll be upgrading the tenancy to be 521 CMAR compliant. We've presented both in a butters meeting on December 16th and met with the BAIA on January 18th, and we have at least 10 letters of support.
Okay. Questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members, C. Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This application completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on December 16th, 2025, at which no concerns were raised. The applicants met with the Brighton Alston Improvement Association, which is in support of this application. That background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional hands raised at the moment.
Okay. May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion of approval.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge.
Yes.
Mr. Valencia.
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Ms. Wewell.
Yes.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Burnell.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
At this point, at this time, we'll go to the rediscussion cases scheduled for 11:30 a.m. We'll ask again if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals. And hearing none, we will go to case BOA 178-7097 with the address of 128 Bennington Street. If the applicant and or the representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stenbridge, and good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the board. Richard Lins, 245 Sumner Street on behalf of the petitioner. If we can jump down to slide 4, just to get a little bit of a quick view of the context here. So Madam Chair, members of the board, this is an existing 2-story building on Bennington Street, which is a main thoroughfare in East Boston. Newly amended zoning has changed the zoning district to EBR4, which allows buildings up to 4 stories, 50 feet in height, along with multifamily use to be allowed as a matter of right. Our proposal would demolish the existing structure that is on the site and rebuild to 4 stories with 4 residential units. There's an existing curb cut to the right of our property currently. Our proposal would maintain that. I'll talk a little bit about that when we get into the discussion about the relief that's necessary. And that setback on the right side that's used for a driveway is also an easement for the property located immediately to our right. So it is necessary that we maintain that setback. If we can go to the next slide, please. It shows our street view. Very common type of design. The building itself was probably a lower level commercial use, which looks like it may have had a window closed years ago. And the upper level was residential. It's currently used as a 2-family building. And that would, as I said, would be completely demolished and rebuilt to 4 residential units. As you can see, the existing structure currently sits on the front property line. And that is a very typical condition for buildings along this side of Bennington Street, which we'll discuss when we get to the front yard setback requirement. Next slide, please. Just a different view here, and you can see the context of Bennington Street as we go down. Next slide, please. And then looking back up Bennington Street towards the main intersection with Brooks, you can see the building at the corner, which is reflective of the new zoning and the new height that is permitted in the district. So 4 stories up to 50 feet in height is permissible. If we can jump down to slide, let's go to slide 9. This is good. So by way of site plan, as you can see, our existing building, sits at the 0 lot line on the left-hand side. We propose to build our building to that same setback on the left. As you can see that we do maintain to the right the paved driveway, which would allow access for up to 3 vehicles. The relief that would be necessary for this particular proposal, as cited by ISD throughout this project, has been rear yard, side yard, and front yard. With respect to the front yard, as I mentioned, we are able to meet the modal setback, so the alignment of the block on that side of Bennington Street is pretty much at a 0. We would continue to align the building with the 0 setback. With respect to the left setback, we would set that at the property line as well, as the building is currently set, and we would just be expanding it back towards the rear. And on the right side would remain as the driveway with that easement in conjunction with our neighbor to our right. With respect to the rear, so we do set our building back 36 feet, which is sufficient under EBR4 zoning for this depth of this lot. However, the stairs do go into the rear lot slightly, and then we share the parking spaces to the rear as well. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is just showing the basement level, and one of the things that we were informed about was that because we are relatively close on elevation-wise, based upon CFROD, the family room that was proposed in the basement would be eliminated in order to comply with the CFROD requirements. So that basement area that does show a family room would be eliminated entirely. We would just utilize this for storage, and then obviously CFROD compliant utilities that meet the requirements of Article 25A. Next slide, please. This is the main level, Unit 1. You can scroll through these relatively quickly. Level 2, Level 3, pretty similar, Level 4. We do show a roof deck. The roof deck will be exclusive to unit 4, the uppermost level. We are accessing that by head house, which is permissible under the requirements for head houses and for roof decks in the district. With that, I will pause and answer any questions of the board.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Yeah, I have one quick question. I might have missed it. What is the height of this building?
If we can zoom in, I believe we're below the 50-foot limit. I might be able to zoom in here and get a better look at that. If we can scroll down just a little bit, I just want to see what the lowest level is. Yeah, so it shows first grade at 9, 18, I think just under 40 feet total.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Eva Jones, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 128 Bennington Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting on 10/26/25 that was attended by one community member, their direct abutter, where some productive conversation was had regarding the easement shared by both properties and no other concerns were expressed. The proposal was also reviewed by the Eagle Hill Civic Association at their meeting on 11/19/25. The association expressed support and voted 8 yes and 5 no about the proposal. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Next, we have Christian Simonelli.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Christian Simonelli, Boston Groundwater Trust, and we have both G-card letters from the applicant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd actually like to hear from Mr. Hampton about the recommendation.
No, you don't. You really don't.
I really don't?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, Jeff Hampton, City of Boston Planning Department. Our recommendation for denial was based on our interpretation of the plans, but after Attorney Linz's presentation explaining the stairs are the only thing going into the rear setback, the elimination of the basement. I cannot change our recommendation, but I believe that Attorney Linz explained the violations clearly and succinctly. So we do stand by our recommendation, but in light of the presentation, I can't say.
You can stop there.
I'm going to stop there. Thank you.
Okay, all right. And I see Councilor Coletta's office raised their hand. So if Stefan wants to speak.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. At this time, the office wanted to go in support of this project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
I make a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Next, we have case BOA 1783703 with the address of 198 Marion Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Thank you, Ms. Stembridge. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Attorney Jeff Drago with Drago and Toscano with the business address of 11 Beacon Street. Here on behalf of the applicant, and with me I have Eric Zackerson from Context, who designed the plans for the proposal that we're looking at, which is a project at 198 Marion Street in East Boston. The proposal, this building, just, and you can see it right there with the brick sort of storefront look to it, has sat idle for a number of years, half renovated and half just left unrenovated. And the proposal is to change the occupancy from a 2-family with storefronts to a 4-unit building via interior renovations and a vertical addition in the rear on levels 2 and 3. You can go to the next slide. So that's just what the renovated rendering would look like after, if approved and construction was completed. There's also an existing head house, which we're leaving or proposing to leave on the building, and then building an exclusive roof deck to the top floor unit as part of the proposal. That roof deck would be pulled in 10 feet. So as you can see in this rendering, it's not visible by the naked eye. The proposal last time we actually deferred, and the reason we deferred is based on the recommendation from BPDA. It had mentioned this falls within a C-fraud district, and it is in a flood hazard district as well as GCOD. And so we raised the elevation to meet all of the requirements of C-fraud, which was 19.5 feet or 19.5 feet from elevation. The new plans that were submitted and reviewed by ISD now meet those requirements as well. The proposal, straightforward, so it's 4 units. Unit 1 and 2 would be on the, and you can see that right here in this picture where it says 196. That's actually our building. So it goes back. There's already an existing first floor that goes out all the way back. So we're just simply building, which is allowed under the Plan East Boston, on top of that existing structure. So the building height will remain at 3 stories. We're not going any higher. And we're just infilling that back area. Currently, it's laid out as 2 separate retail storefronts, one in the back with its own side entrance, and then one in the front. Again, those haven't been used in years. And so the proposal in working with the Maverick Central Group was to make 2 smaller units, which they preferred on the first floor, and then 2 larger units above on the second and third floor. So unit 1 would be a studio, 1 bath. At unit 2 would be a 1-bedroom, 2-bath at 690 square feet. And then units 3 and 4, both would be 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,050 and 1,120 square feet. And so in working with the group, we were able to get their strong support for the proposal. And this just shows you some of the side views and the roof deck on top that we're adding. The roof deck, as I mentioned, would be exclusive to Unit 4 via that existing head house. It will be pulled back 10 feet, and its dimensions are 9'7" by 24 feet 6 inches. This location is directly across from the airport T-station bus stop right on the corner, so it makes it a very ideal location for commuters, even though we're not able to create parking because we're keeping the existing structure. And with that, we can answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Eva Jones, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 198 Marion Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting on 9/22/25 that was lightly attended by the East Boston community. The proposal was also reviewed by the Maverick Central Neighborhood Association at their meeting in October of 2025. The association expressed support. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Stephen Mary from Consular Coletta.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. At this time, Councilor Coletta Zapata's office would like to go in support of the project. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Kristen Simonelli.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Christian Simonelli, Boston Groundwater Trust, and we have both GCOD letters from the applicant.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
I'm Chair, make a motion of approval with Planning Department review.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stumbridge.
Yeah.
Mr. Valencia.
Yes.
Mr. Langham,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Burnell.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1760013 with the address of 110 West Concord Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Thank you, Secretary Stenbridge, Madam Chair, and members of the board. My name is Marcus Springer, I'm the architect representing the owner, Cass Comstock, who is here as well. The earlier presentation, there was confusion about where the proposed roof deck was on the existing building. So we have done additional drawings to illustrate that. This is our zoning code refusal. These are photographs of the site of the proposed deck itself on the living room. And then this was from the meeting with Landmarks on site doing a mock-up. They gave us a letter of exemption, which you can see there. So this is the plan showing where the roof deck is. So it's on the second floor over top of the living room of unit 110. So this plan view shows the second floor of unit 110 and 112. So the comments in the last hearing were the fire escape where they were, and just to show that they were not impacted. So this shows that. The deck doesn't impact the fire escape from the shared fire escape of 112 and 110 on both the front and the back of the building. The next drawing shows a section of the existing condition of a section through 110. The solarium on the back is the structure to be demolished and replaced with the project. If you go to the next slide. So this is the proposed unit. The owner's unit makes up the first and second floor. There is a unit in the basement and then further units on the top. So the project is a staircase which accesses the roof deck, which is designed on top of the first floor living room of the owner's building. And these are just the drawings that you've already seen of the staircase, how that rises up. If you keep going, that's the living room. This is onto the deck itself. And these are elevations, more large-scale elevations of the project. One of the concerns of and also the board asked us to reach out to the abutter who voiced opposition to the project. He is the owner of the adjoining unit in 112. So this is a photograph showing his unit in 112. This angled window in the back, looking directly at the chimney, is where the project is. So it doesn't really impact his view. And then the next picture is showing a view looking out of the living room. That view remains unobstructed. The next picture is one showing where you would have to be to see the project, actually sitting in the bay window, looking out the window. And you can see the other window in the kitchen is the fire escape window, which you saw in the earlier plan. So it's not obstructed. One of the other issues was sunlight and sunset. So we did a number of sunset views showing that the deck would not impede sunset at any time during the year. As the building is situated southeast of 112, so it's impossible for it to impact the sunset views. We did reach out to the abutter. We had a virtual meeting via Zoom with he and his wife, as well as a site visit where we installed a mock-up. They voiced their concerns of privacy, natural light. Those are the main things. And they feel, and I think they still feel, that the deck next door will lower their value of their condo. But it also must be said that they don't live in that condo. The unit in 112 has been vacant for almost a year. Their primary residence is in the Seaport where they live. So they don't rent this place out. So the impact, I think, would be negligible to an empty unit. But I hope these drawings do show the extent of the project, and so it's not on the roof, it's over the second floor, and the impact, one of privacy and light, has been mitigated by the design, by the head house sloping away from their windows, as well as the largest impact to their windows would be the existing chimney, which you can see in this plan, is that kind of M-shaped thing. It's 5 feet wide and 13 feet tall. It sits directly in front of the window. And with that, I will take any questions from the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you remind us why a hatch is not feasible?
So a hatch isn't feasible. We want to keep the integrity of this copper roof on the living room below, which is a pretty much intact 19th century room. And as well, we don't want to access out of the windows because that would then impact the fire escape between 110 and 112. We did look at creating a stair up beside the building, but that would have had too many kind of structural gymnastics to make that viable. And that's when we landed on the idea of replacing the solarium with stair access to the deck. The solarium currently is the owner's office. She's a real estate agent. So the office is also in the new plans. And we found that was the easiest way to access the deck, was to just go up a normal staircase.
Other questions from the board?
Madam Chair, could we hear from Jeff Hampton?
That would be great. Mr. Hampton?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jeff Hampton, City of Boston Planning Department. We didn't see these new documents, which is why our recommendation hasn't changed. So I would have to leave it to the board to make the decision on this, but we just didn't have anything to review to change, to make any determination whether or not to change our recommendation.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Eva Jones. I'm representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 110 West Concord Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on 8/26/25 that was lightly attended by 2 South End community members who did not provide any questions or feedback. My office has also received 14 letters of support from the applicant that were submitted to the board. The proposal was not in the catchment of an area of any local civic associations and was not asked to meet with any regarding this proposal. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have Mo Motameni, please. You have 90 seconds.
Okay, yes, hi, thank you. I'll lower my hand now. So good morning, my name is Mo Motamedi. I live at unit number 2, West 112 West Concord Street, immediately adjacent to the proposed project, and 110 West Concord Street, where our living room is adjacent and at the same level as the proposed deck. Just to clarify, because this issue was raised, the reason we haven't been staying there is because I got a very bad injury. In September, I was on crutches for a long time, and I'm finally back to health. So going up and down the stairs were difficult. That's why we weren't staying in this unit. However, now we plan to fully use it. On to the topic. The project as currently designed creates significant impact and should not be approved in its current format. Moreover, we only received partial plans for the proposed deck and received the full plans on the evening of March 7th, this past Saturday. We object to the height component of the project and the closeness of the deck to our living room window, not the entire project. Our living room has a bay window space, which provides most of the natural light for our living room and will be most directly affected by this project. And there's also a separate window in our kitchen area, which will also be impacted by the project. Because of the projection of the bay window, the proposed deck would come as close as about 2 to 2.5 feet from the left side of our bay window in our living room area. The deck floor would also sit above the bottom of our bay windows, meaning that people standing on the deck would have a direct line of sight into our living room. Because of that proximity and elevation, the project would significantly affect privacy, light, and view from our main living space. This is confirmed because our architect prepared the section drawing and an existing versus proposed shadow study on the bay window area close to the proposed deck, which were submitted to the board. These illustrations clearly show the reduction of natural light entering our living space and substantial reduction in privacy on the proposed design. For these reasons, and given the height and closeness of the proposed deck to our living room windows and the impact on privacy and light, we respectfully ask the board to take a careful look at whether this design represents the minimum relief necessary under the zone.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Kim Damukosh.
Hi, I am a butter. I live directly across the street at 119 West Concord. I've seen the plans and designs, and I wanted to join today to express my support for the project. The structure is going to be in the rear of the building, so it won't be visible, but I think the design is not only beautiful, but it's also low impact and it's cohesive to the existing aesthetic in the neighborhood. For those reasons, I strongly support this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the person with the iPhone.
Ingrid Evans. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I live at 110 West Concord on the 3rd floor, so I'd be right above the deck, and I support this project. I've seen the plans. I do think that it would be a beautiful addition to the neighborhood, and 112, which is next to us, that goes out the back, is a little bit of an eyesore, so I think that this, their proposed project would add a lot of beauty to the back alley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Brian Nevins.
Yes, Brian Nevins, also at 110 West Concord Street, right next to 112. Nice to meet you, neighbor. I've been here 3 years, so nice to meet you. And I can attest that I've seen the plans. They look great. And I could also attest to the sunset, which we see every day, and we know the way the sun moves over the course of the day, and can't imagine it would compromise any sunlight, and fully support the project.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Thank you. Other questions from the board? Anything else the applicant wants to add regarding the concerns expressed?
We did offer to make a portion of the rail like a frosted glass to mitigate light issues. However, we didn't hear anything back about that. So we'd rather just keep it as it exists.
Okay.
May I respond to that?
No, you cannot. We are deliberating at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll put in a motion of approval.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Stenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Madam Chair, we have an interpretation case scheduled for noontime.
Okay.
So I'll read that into the record and go from there. This is case BOA 1689794 with the address of 62 to 66 Condor Street. If the applicants and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Madam Chair, members of the board, Richard Lins, 245 Sumner Street, East Boston, on behalf of the petitioner. As I indicated to the board through staff, that we are deferring this matter, should be one final time. As you can see, there are a number of violations that are cited. We've had a number of them removed by ISD. However, that particular examiner is no longer with ISD, so we're just working on a reassignment so that we can address the last item. I think a brief deferral should help us get that completed, and hopefully we can withdraw this on the next hearing.
Okay. What dates are we looking at?
We could do April 28th, May 5th, May 19th, June 2nd.
April 28th should be fine. Thank you, Carol.
Okay. May I have a motion?
Motion to defer to April the 20th?
Was that 20th or 28th?
28th.
28th.
Okay. Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Lang?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll return to the last case for the 11:30 time frame. And this would be case BOA 1790972 with the address of 567 to 577 Adams Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Mike Ross of the law firm of Prince Lobel. I'm here with the owners of the property, Brian and Jason Chavez, two brothers who grew up in Dorchester within a couple of miles from this location and still live there today. I'm also here with the architect, Tim Sheehan, who's on the call. This property is an 11,754 double lot consisting of two parcels, as you can see here, one in front of the other. The plan is to renovate the existing structure from a two-family to include 3 units, and then given the length, we can sit on the first one. Sorry, thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Given the length of the lot, to build 5 connecting townhouses that descend toward the back. These 8 units total will be sold for home ownership, and there will also be one affordable unit available to someone at 80% of median income. Next slide, please, Mr. Ambassador. So this is the architect's site plan, and it shows how the units will lay out. Adams Street is on the right side of the screen. That first rectangle there is approximately where the existing property sits and will now become the 3 floor-through units. Each will be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with approximately 1,375 square feet. And then behind the existing structure will be the 5 townhouses, units with parking. They are 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they're approximately 1,276 square feet. There's also here shown 4 parking spaces along the side of the lot, in that area that juts out for a total of 9 parking spaces for the 8 units, which is 1 less than is required by zoning. 10 would be required by zoning. And then on the zoning chart that you see just in the upper right-hand corner, these are the dimensional variances that are needed to reasonably develop this long linear lot, particularly to use that second lot in the rear. And according to the Boston Planning Memo, which supported this project, the dimensional variances are, quote, similar to the neighboring structures. Here, the FAR is just slightly over 1 at 1.1. The height is compliant at 34, though the number of stories for the building is at 3, which is above the 2.5 requirement, but consistent with many of the 3-story properties on this side of the road and to the north. The additional dimensional variances would be front yard, which is an existing violation on the existing structure, but more consistent now with the building alignment of the street. The side yard on the right side only is a violation, is at just over 5 and a 10. That's also an existing violation. And then the rear yard, we are providing 15 and a 20. So we can go to the next slide now. And so these were just some existing images of the property today. As you can see, there's an existing curb cut and driveway along the left side of the building. It will continue to be utilized, but the existing garage there will be removed, and the driveway will be replaced with pervious pavers to allow groundwater to enter the land. Next slide, please. This layout here shows at the bottom the basement, and then above the first floor plan. Off the back of these 5 townhouses at the top of the screen are an exterior stairwell which ties the ground floor patio space to the second floor balcony in each unit. And then the front units also have outdoor space, each with their own 180 square foot deck off the main bedroom. Next slide, please. This layout here shows the second floor at the bottom and the third floor where the bedrooms and the townhouses are. And then here you can see the individual second floor decks off the kitchens of the townhouses on the second floor. Next slide, please. And this shows the top of the building featuring roof decks for each of the 5 townhouses, providing maximum use of open space. The lower drawing shows the elevation from the driveway side. Next slide, please. So these images show the front, rear, and side elevations for the building. I'll point out that the slanted head house on the roof is designed to minimize protrusions. Next slide, please. Here, I wanted to point out 2 other addresses that are within the same and the adjoining block of this property. Each has a similar characteristic in that the properties are linear and the structures are set sideways, like the proposed project. So it's something that's already in occurrence in this area. But unlike these 2 properties, 567 Adams Street does front the sidewalk with its original building so as to not face a blank wall toward the front of the street. Next slide and last slide. So this here is the landscape plan, and I'll point out that the existing oak trees at the right rear of the property will remain. The driveway will be converted to pervious pavers. There will be new plantings of 3 20-foot American beech trees along the front of the property, and then along the side of the property, there'll be plantings of 5 10-foot birch trees, and along with other plantings throughout the site. I'll pause there and see if there are any comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Yes, Mr. Ross. For how many units again do you have for this project?
8 units.
So I understand that you need to have a housing agreement with MOH?
Correct.
For how many units?
Well, it comes out to about 1.3. So according to the ordinance, you would round down and you would pay the 0.37 excess of what's up to get to the 17. So there will definitely be 1 unit, and then we'll probably have to make a payment to the Mayor's Office of Housing, but that will have to be negotiated through that agreement.
Thank you. The other thing is that I'm looking at your site plan, and some of the parking is in a garage, but some of the parking is outdoors, and I'm wondering if you can switch the parking to have one space per unit, so you increase the open space, usable open space for residents.
I understand the question. So these will be, I mean, the board memo kind of talks about this a little bit. These will be family-sized units, the townhouses. And so there is a minimum of one parking space per unit. The additional parking spaces might be used for visitors, or might be in a case where there's someone in that building in that set of buildings has a second car. These will be condominiums, so either the condominium association would keep those, or they'd be sold with the additional unit. Those will be, but definitely the townhouses each have their space. The front units, which are floor through, don't have any parking in their building. So if they wanted to have parking, they would have to use, 3 of those 4 that are off to the side. And like I said, there is a pattern of at least having one parking space, especially with condominiums, home ownership in this area, to be able to allow these family-sized units for grocery shopping and that kind of thing.
Thank you. Any other questions? May I have public testimony?
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Evan Jones, representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Regarding 567 to 577 Adams Street, our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, attended by several Dorchester community members. The feedback from this meeting was significant concerns about the parking in the neighborhood and the current issue already facing them being possibly exacerbated and increasing density in the neighborhood. Additionally, we received one letter expressing opposition to the proposal, relaying similar concerns that were expressed in the abutters meeting. The proposal was also reviewed by the St. Mark's Area Civic Association at their meeting on 9/30/25. The association voted 2 in favor and 12 opposed, and has expressed the increased density is too high and may be more amenable to members if there was a reduction of 2 units from 8 to 6 units. A formal opposition email was submitted to the board. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
Ms. Jones, can you clarify, at the start you mentioned concerns around parking? So what was the concern? That there was too much on the site or too little?
In Dorchester, the concerns are often too little parking for most cases.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board, Liam Remus from Counsel Fitzgerald's office. Our office would like to go on record in support of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Andrew Galvin.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Andrew Galvin, representing Councilor Murphy's office. She would like to go on the record in support of this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Anything
Madam Chair, just, for the record, if I may, we did submit, I think, upwards of 20 letters of support from bona fide residents near the project. I was hoping Ms. Jones received those. If not, I can forward them to him, but I know the board did receive those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Chair, I make a motion approval with the provisos that there is a housing agreement with the Mayor Office of Housing. Also, the project undergoes project review with the planning department, and special attention to reviewing and increasing the open space with the potential of reducing parking to 1 space per unit.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Burnell?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, folks.